Hi everyone, my name is Simon Getzel, and today we're going to take a look at the work of a famous Polish/Ukrainian/Russian modernist artist, Kazimir Malevich. To be more precise, I will introduce you to the most controversial and fundamental work that was produced by this artist, the infamous Black Square. Before we jump into the analysis of the work, I would ask you to take a measured look at it. And I mean really look at it. How does it make you feel? What is it about, and what is its purpose? Do you think it deserves the title of a fundamental modernist art piece? If you are unfamiliar with abstract art in general, and Kazimir Malevich in particular, you might be inclined to think that there's nothing special about this work. After all, it's just a bit of black paint on a canvas. Since anyone could draw that, why is this work so highly regarded? Is it controversial just because of its apparent simplicity? In short, the answer is no. The simplicity is a part of the controversy, but just a minor part. The ideas and issues for which the work was censored and banned are much deeper than its presentation. We cannot hope to fully understand it without learning about the history of its creation first. Kazimir Malevich was born on February 23, 1879, in Kiev in an ethnic Polish family. At the time, Kiev was the part of a Russian Empire, so Malevich had access to prestigious art schools of Moscow. After he graduated from such a school, Moscow School of Painting, Sculpture, and Architecture, Malevich worked hard on developing his art style by experimenting with different modernist movements of the time. For example, he borrowed techniques and ideas from the movements of Impressionism, Symbolism, and Fauvism. Ultimately, this search brought him to the movement of Cubo-Futurism, to which he subscribed. The main idea of Cubism, which was to represent the reality in a different, abstract, or fragmented manner with the help of simple shapes, resonated strongly with Malevich's inner desires. He sought to develop a form of expression that moved as far as possible from the world of natural forms in order to access the supremacy of pure feeling and spirituality. These ideas mixed, boiled, and evolved inside Malevich's head while he produced art alongside other Russian and Ukrainian avant-garde artists, such as Vladimir Tatlin and Alexander Archipenko, just to name a few. This work bore fruit in the year 1915, when Malevich presented the painting of Black Square at the last futurist exhibition 010, during which he laid down the foundations of a new art movement, suprematism, by releasing its manifesto. In suprematism, art is based on the supremacy of pure artistic feeling, rather than on visual depiction of objects. Ideally, the art would be completely non-objectional and unrealistic. It would display things that haven't been explored in the past. The Black Square, which is known as the most radically abstract painting created so far, is a solid example of supremacist ideology. At first, even the artist himself did not realize the genius behind the work. According to one of his students, Anna Leporskaya, Malevich neither knew nor understood what the Black Square contained. He thought it so important an event in his creation that for the whole week he was unable to eat, drink, or sleep. It was a zero point of painting, the one and only truly original work on which all other art is built, the origin and source of non-objective creation. As you might expect, not everyone agreed with or supported the ideas of suprematism. After all, the movement was quite radical in its complete rejection of naturalistic forms and previous art history in favor of the, quote, new beginning, end quote. Yet, this criticism is not the only controversy that surrounded the piece. At the exhibition, Malevich's work was seen as being especially scandalous by the attending audience, and that's among the work of other avant-garde artists. The reason behind its negative reception is the location the painting occupied. It was hanged inside the building in the top corner of the room. In a Russian Orthodox tradition, this place is typically reserved for the display of iconography, so the placement of the work was at the very least disrespectful and at worst heretical. Personally, I think the placement is by no means an accident. It was an intentional choice made to strengthen the symbolic meaning of the work. Malevich reinforced the proclamation of suprematism as true origin of art by linking it to the God, the creator of all things. Unfortunately for Malevich, the movement of suprematism failed to establish itself. After the events of October Revolution of 1917, ideological machine of the Soviet state forcefully established its own propagandistic art style, socialist realism. The main ideas of this movement centered around the highly idealized depictions of communist values. It promoted the use of realism and objectivism in art in direct opposition to suprematism. Despite these failures, Malevich continued to advocate for non-objectivistic approach and produced many works in that style. However, once Joseph Stalin came into power, Soviet government cracked down on all forms of abstraction in art due to their supposed affiliation to bourgeois. In 1930, Kazimir Malevich was arrested and interrogated by KGB, who confiscated all of his paintings and banned the artist from producing and displaying new works under a threat of execution. In recent days, the work managed to attract another wave of criticism and controversy after a discovery was made by art historians of Tretyakov Gallery. Using the X-ray analysis, the researchers discovered a handwritten note hidden under the layers of paint. They're still trying to analyze the markings and decipher the meaning behind them, but some people are justifiably upset about the message's content. You see, the note says, "Battle of Negroes in a Dark Cave." The researchers believe that the note is a response to the joke painting made by French comic and writer Alphonse Allais, Negroes Fighting in a Cellar at Night. In my opinion, this discovery tarnishes the symbolic meaning of the work. Instead of rejecting the objective reality, the statement brings up the bad and the ugly of the real world into the view. Going back to the beginning of this analysis, I'm going to ask you to take another look at the painting. Hopefully, now you can see that even images of the simplest shapes and colors can support and express profound and complex ideas. The world of abstract is full of examples of misunderstood or undeciphered art that appears to be trivial, yet full of reason. I encourage all of you to explore the context of abstract works before you make the judgment in the future. By doing so, you might discover the meaning that was hidden in the plain sight.